also said they were not moved by the report of the British media outfit, which it hinted was damage control to change the certificate saga narrative. The National Legal Advisor of the party, Kendi Edo, noted that regardless of comments, the president must take responsibility for the mess he is putting the country through. The Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, Dr. Bosu Tijani, says by 2030, 90% of Nigerians should be digitally literate. The minister said the federal government has digital literacy and plans to train 3 million Nigerians in technical skills in the next few years. He said the ministry is collaborating with state governments to accomplish the vision and ensure the initiative is well supported. The minister further said the federal government plans to set up hardware training centers in popular tech hubs like Aba in Abia State and Computer Village in Lagos State with the goal of advancing manpower development and expand job opportunities for over 200 million Nigerians. Nigerians have been advised against self-medication when confronted with eye conditions. Dr. Eric Aonse gave the advice during a health talk and free eye screening for staff of Ondo State Radio Vision Corporation at the Media Group headquarters. Osrc's Zaid Aribisala reports that the Media Group opened its door for the health expert as part of its commitment to the welfare of staff. The report.
The eye is a delicate organ of the human body that is sensitive to visible light and allows humans to use visual information for various purposes. According to the World Health Organization, the prevalence of some eye conditions such as cataract, uncorrected refractive errors, glaucoma, age-related macular degeneration are problems for the human eye. The Health Organization says approximately 26.3 million people in Africa have a form of visual impairment. Taking cognizance of the operations of staff of Osrc Media Group and their exposure to screen rays from different gadgets, the management opened its doors for this health outreach held at its headquarters. An optometrist, Dr. Eric Aonse from Pure View Clinics, delivered a health talk on care for the eyes, emphasizing the need for every individual to place premium on protecting their eyes. Dr. Aonse said people must jettison self-medication to avoid injury to the organ.
We thought it was because this place is a very busy place, so they may not really have time, maybe at time when they have issues with their eyes, to actually take out time to go out. So we thought it was to come around, to have their eye tested and see if they have any issues with their eyes and how it can be resolved. So we just choose this place because we know that it's a busy organization, that they may need these services, and that is why we want to provide it for them.
The Director, Finance and Administration, Osrc TV, Mrs. Ellen Aregbeshola, who restated the Media Group's commitment to staff welfare, said the enlightenment will improve productivity of the workforce.
It will help us a lot because most of us do normally go to maybe market to buy sunglasses. So at times we may think we are just making fashion of it, not knowing that we are injuring our eyes. But now with the talk, we can now know that going to the market to buy ordinary glasses is not good for our health and for our sight because of the side effect, and more also for people who have been in pains, in problem with their sight, and they don't have time to go, or they were just don't care with their health. With this talk now, they were able to see that it's very important to take care of their health, and that it is important for us to know the status of our sight.
Free eye tests were conducted for the workers in attendance, just as further recommendations were provided for those who need treatment and prescription glasses. Sahira Ribisala, Osrc News.
The wife of Gabon's deposed President Ali Bongo Ondimba, who has been under house arrest since a coup in the Central African country in late August has been jailed. Lawyer Francois Mari says Sylvia Bongo Odimba Valentin, suspected of allegedly embezzling public funds, was jailed late on Wednesday and has condemned it as arbitrary and an illegal procedure. Bongo's wife was charged on September 28 with money laundering, forgery, and falsification of records. Sylvia Bongo has been under house arrest in the capital, Libreville, since the August 30 coup brought the cutting down on 55 years of Bongo dynasty rule. They accused Sylvia Bongo and her son, Noureddin Bongo Valentin, of manipulating the former president, who has not fully recovered from a serious stroke in 2018. The Christian Association of Nigeria (CAN) has condemned the ongoing conflict between Israel and Hamas, a Palestinian militant group. In a statement, CAN President Daniel Oko called for prayers and peace. He said the recent surprise attack by Hamas on Israel citizens, resulting in the tragic loss of numerous lives and abduction of several persons, including women and children, is a distressing event that undermines the pursuit of global peace. While recognizing Israel's right to self-defense, CAN emphasized the importance of proportionality and the avoidance of harm to innocent civilians in any military response. CAN, in the statement, expressed its deepest condolences to all those who have suffered the loss of their loved ones in these incidents and called for an immediate cessation of hostilities and violence between Israel and Palestine. Meanwhile, Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and centrist opposition leader Benny Gantz have agreed to form an emergency unity government. A joint statement from Gantz's National Unity Party said Netanyahu and Gantz, a former defense minister and military chief of staff, agreed to form a war cabinet comprising Netanyahu, Gantz, and Defense Minister Yoav Gallant. The statement said the unity government will not promote any unrelated policy or laws except those related to the ongoing fighting with Hamas in Gaza. It was not immediately clear what would happen to Netanyahu's existing government partners, a collection of far-right and ultra-Orthodox parties. Audrey Sawyer reports.
Coming together in times of war. After days of talks, Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and an opposition leader have agreed to form a temporary emergency unity government. That includes leader of the opposition National Unity Party. Benny Gantz had conditions and he got what he wanted, a 5-member so-called war management cabinet with a wealth of military experience. It includes himself, the Prime Minister, Defense and Strategic Affairs Ministers, and former Army Chief Gadi Eisenkot, a decision likely to appease the public after Israel's major failure to stop Saturday's Hamas attack that led to the war on Gaza.
I want this to be good for everyone. We need calm and unity. They needed to stop with all this political mess.
This is important to reassure the nation and all the parents that lost their loved ones and provide people with a sense of security. There should be unity amongst us here. We've reached a catastrophic level.
As the death toll continues to rise on both sides, Israel faces a war on several fronts. Despite the biggest military mobilization in Israel's 75-year history, it has still not been able to secure the region near the border with Gaza, several days after it was attacked by Hamas fighters. Israel's response has been a fierce one. Airstrikes on Gaza's civilian population continues indiscriminately, but Hamas rockets keep being fired from Gaza. While the majority have been intercepted by Israel's anti-missile system, some are getting through, and on Wednesday, a medical center in the southern city of Ashkelon was hit for a second time. Tension on the border with Lebanon have also been high. The arrival of U.S. military equipment on Israeli soil and a planned visit by U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken today is a welcome sign for Israelis that with the help of its biggest ally, the U.S., it is not alone in this war.
We have the back of the Israeli people. We have their back today. We'll have it tomorrow. We will have it every day.
And as foreign nationals continue to be evacuated, Palestinians in Gaza fear the worst is yet to come. Odunayo Sawyer, Osrc News.
Meanwhile, the Lebanese-Israeli border witnessed another border attack. Lebanese group Hezbollah has claimed responsibility. Several houses in the village
also to a wider conflict across the skirmishes for a fourth day. The Lebanese group Hezbollah targeted Israeli troops from their position near the village of Derne. An intense exchange of fire then follows. Artillery from the Israeli side, guidance from the Lebanese side, families sheltering in their rooms, unable to move. Some people were injured after a shell hit their home.
We heard the shelling and went down for shelter. Then my son and daughter were both injured. And as you see, my house is not livable anymore.
Another neighborhood, another partially damaged home.
We were sitting, there was nothing, then we started hearing explosions a couple of times. Then the ones on the other side, the Israelis started bombarding. It was horrifying. I can't describe it. We're angry because our houses were targeted. This house took years to build. Now it's destroyed in 1 second. We took women and children to safe
locations to avoid the conflict, vanishing with every clash across the border and with every exchange of fire, the danger of escalating the conflict yet further into the region. Kemisola Jomu, Osrc News.
In the meantime, Hamas Qasem Brigade has released a video appearing to show the release of a female hostage and 2 children. The footage shot from a distance showed the unidentified women and the children behind, and the men, presumably Hamas fighters, are seen walking away after leaving them in an open area near a fence, which could be the frontier between Israel and Gaza. It's unclear the video and the Israeli to comment on the video. Sources say the video refutes what called that Hamas fighters killed women and children. The video follows an earlier statement by the group that said some Western media outlets continue to spread Zionist slander and lies about the Palestinian people and their resistance, which falsely and slanderously promoted allegations that members of the Palestinian resistance beheaded children and assaulted women without any evidence to support their lies and claims. Still,
UN staff are working around the clock to support the people of Gaza, and I deeply regret that some of my colleagues have already paid the ultimate price. Crucial life-saving supplies, including fuel, food and water, must be allowed into Gaza. We need rapid and unimpeded humanitarian access now. I want to thank Egypt for its constructive engagement to facilitate humanitarian access through the Rafah crossing and to make the Al Arish airport available for critical assistance. There is no time to lose. Every moment counts.
In our related solidarity rallies have been held around the world in support of the Palestinian people. From Toronto to Istanbul to Bern, support rallies around the world.
If we are against white supremacy and colonialism all over the world, we have to support the demands for the Palestinian people and the fight for decolonization and the fight against white supremacist Zionist Israel that is occupying stolen land that belongs to the indigenous people of Palestine.
There has always been we come here in an act of faith, in solidarity with our people, with the people who are indiscriminately dying today in Palestine by the attacks from the Israeli occupation army.
Away from Israel-Gaza war, Justice Secretary Alice Chalk MP has blocked the automatic early release of a man who killed his wife with a hammer. British Airways Captain Robert Brown beguiled 46-year-old Joanna Simpson of his sentence. The report.
It's been 13 years since Joanna Simpson was brutally killed by her husband. Robert Brown attacked the 46-year-old with a claw hammer as the two young children were inside the house. The British Airways captain dumped her body in a makeshift coffin in Windsor Great Park. Cleared of murder, Brown was jailed for 26 years after admitting manslaughter on the grounds of diminished responsibility. The lesser charge meant he was due to be out next month after serving half his sentence, but now
available under the 2022 Act. I have exercised my discretion to block his automatic release, which would otherwise have...
Overwhelming, to be honest with you. It's the best news that we could have hoped for. I, for one, broke down because this has been we've been living with this for the last 11 years, 12 years. It's been a shadow over our lives, and it's just the most incredible relief.
Joanna's mother, Diana, feared Brown would still pose a threat if let out.
I fear he was a danger to anybody he came in contact with, as Joe's friends, my family, and any woman that he may get a relationship with in the future. He was so dangerous. He was a psychopath. He is a psychopath. He showed no remorse whatsoever for what he's done. None.
The case raises questions of automatic release, although since Joanna's killing, sentencing laws have become tougher. Brown will now be referred to the parole board, who will examine whether it is safe for him to be freed.
Nigeria will today know their group stage opponents when the draw ceremony for 2023 African Cup of Nations holds in Abidjan. The Super Eagles dropped in the latest FIFA rankings saw them seeded in Pot 2, and they are destined to face either host Ivory Coast or any of the top 4 African countries. With the large number of North African countries in word at noon. Many thanks for watching. Good afternoon.